I got involved in the Pathways program because both of my parents are educators, so my whole life I've kind of been surrounded by education and inspired to do something in education, working with kids as I grow up.
It's helped me realize that I really badly want to major in English education and minor in theater production so I can do both.
Well, I've always been very passionate about literature, and I definitely want to go into teaching. So when I heard about the Insight program that they made a Pathways to Teaching, I was really excited to try it out.
We saw a need to start the Pathways to Teaching program due to the low pool of applicants for teaching positions, but also we wanted to provide students these real-world opportunities to get into the classroom, to learn from the teacher's point of view, and to understand, is this really what I want to pursue in my future or not?
We have a teacher shortage in the state, just like we have shortages in other areas, but this is a critical one, so the Insight program is really helping us move that forward. And it's a premier example in the state of Wisconsin, in my opinion, on how we can get young people thinking about a career, exploring it at a real interesting and complex level.
This has been the most influential part of it, just being in all the different areas, clinical rotations, I started in Horizon, so 4 through 6, and now I'm in the middle school, 7 and 8, and I know I want to be with those types of students because it's so easy for me to make a connection with those types of people.
Well, it's really important, and whether it's Pathways to Teaching or business innovation, to connect with people and find out what is this occupation really about, how does it really work, what is the day-to-day experience of being in a certain industry, as opposed to studying something for 4 or 5 years and then going out and find out maybe this isn't for me or maybe it is.
Insight's nice because of those real-world experiences. I mean, we've had speakers come in, all of them are just great leaders at the school, and so it's just all of those different real experiences compared to just sitting in a classroom.
Students are exposed to a number of professionals in the field who serve as guest instructors for a number of different topics. They also engage in clinical experiences in all levels of education and spend time in classrooms doing observations, as well as teaching students curriculum. And then they spend about 6 weeks in a capstone experience with one teacher where they get to not only learn the students and that teacher's style for teaching a little bit better, but they also get to complete a project that gives back to that classroom.
There's opportunities that Pathways to Teaching can provide for you that aren't just directly in the classroom. We have students working with administrators, we have students working with special ed coaches, we have students working in all sorts of different aspects of education that aren't just one-on-one with a teacher in a classroom.
They've gotten to be involved in some things that kind of go on behind the scenes that most students don't ever get to do or see. So it just provides them with an experience that you can't create in the classroom.
It gives young people the opportunity to think about teaching at its core, and a lot of it at the core of teaching is around building relationships with students, and the opportunity they have to do that here, they can really get a feel for what the profession's like.
I really think about what it is to be a high school student these days, and that junior and senior year for me in particular needs to be much more about that transition into career and college. And to have authentic experiences that are more meaningful for students than textbook kinds of learning is absolutely vital. It's going to increase engagement. It's going to help kids advance their skill set.
Getting to do this at the high school level is giving you such an advantage for later in life because you can start developing those leadership skills and business skills earlier and earlier.
Any exposure that we can give students now to the career paths of their interests are going to help them make those decisions that much sooner and get onto that correct career path that is going to be rewarding for them down the line, and that's what's most important.
If you're thinking about going into the program, I suggest it because even if you don't want to be in the education field per se, it's nice to have those extra experiences, those extra skills, and like an extra just leg up where you normally wouldn't have that.
I think students really have an eye-opening experience when they're in the Pathways to Teaching strand. It shifts their focus from being a student within the classroom to now understanding how teachers teach within the classroom. It really opens their eyes to what a career in teaching, a career in education might look like for them. It gives them those experiences now rather than waiting until their junior or senior year in college.